Good afternoon. We'll start the session exactly at 3. Please, let's wait until a few more people join. Hello, Mahesh Garu. I'm Himasri Andy. Sure. Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Himasri. I'm from Ongole. I'm studying in UK. I'm studying psychology and neuroscience, and I've been meditating for almost 10 years now. Ongole నుంచి ఒంగోలు ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ నుంచి నేను యూకేలో చదువుకుంటున్నాను. ఐమ్ స్టడీయింగ్ ఇన్ యూకే మాంచెస్టర్. Should we wait for other people to join or should I continue? Hello, I'm Himasri. I'm from Ongole, Andhra Pradesh. I'm currently studying psychology in UK. And I've started meditating around 10 years ago. And my mom introduced me to this meditation, Anapanasati. Before meditation, my life was, I was very small back then, but I could feel the difference between from when I used to meditate when I don't. And meditation has helped me become a complete person. It has helped me be more positive and be more optimistic in life. It has helped me to view problems as just a challenge and not as a problem. And I use meditation as a tool to enhance my life. It has helped me in every aspect, be it physical strength or improving my mental health or just improving my motivation to study or to do anything throughout the day. I meditate for almost 30 minutes every day without fail, and sometimes even more. And I've seen that from the days I meditate and from the days that I don't meditate, my thinking is different. My reaction to every day is different. Um, so meditation, in simple words, I can say that meditation has helped me a lot overall. And through meditation, I've met a lot of great masters who have taught me a lot of great lessons that I try to imbibe in my life to make my everyday living a much happier, much more happier and much better. So, one of the concepts that I've learned through meditation was positive thinking, and how our thinking becomes our destiny. So recently, when I met Patriji, he told us this concept. He told us the difference between thought and thinking. And he said, thinking is what makes your destiny and not your thought. And when we asked him, what's the difference between thinking and thought? He said, thought is a singular concept. It's not a continuous thing. Whereas thinking is a continuous thought. It's a chain of thoughts, you can say, and it is continuous. It has an aim. It has a direction. Thoughts are random. It's nuclear and random, and they keep coming and going. Whereas thinking, you are consciously thinking of something. You're consciously putting in effort and like creating concepts in your mind. So he compared thoughts and thinking to listening to a song and singing. He said, just like how we listen to a song, we are only listening. We're not actively doing anything. So that's how thoughts are. They keep coming and going. We're not putting in that much effort into them. Whereas when you're thinking or when you're singing, you're putting in a lot of effort. You're using your vocal cords. You're using your brain to remember the lyrics, and you're composing a song. You're singing it out loud. So he said thinking is like singing. And I felt like that's a very great concept, and most of us don't know the difference between thought and thinking. And I didn't know until recently until Patriji told us. So another concept of Patriji is how thinking becomes your destiny. He says what we strongly believe or what we strongly think, and what our intentions manifest into our reality. So Gautam Buddha, when he was in the palace, when he was a prince, he didn't know what struggle was. But when he walked out of the palace and he saw the people after the war, he saw that everyone was suffering, everyone was struggling, and he thought he had a thinking that he needs to find out what is the actual cause of the suffering. He wanted to know why people are suffering, what is the reason behind all this suffering. So he began to search for the truth, and his thinking became his reality. He found out the truth, and he became a Buddha. So just like that, a single person's thinking can manifest into great things. Patriji always gives the example of Hitler, how he was the reason behind an entire world war. One person's thinking led to such a disastrous outcome that affected the entire world. So that is the power of our thinking. What we strongly believe, what our strong intentions are, that's what becomes our reality. So Patriji says there are four types of thinking, 4 patterns in our thinking. They are disastrous, so disastrous thinking, negative thinking, positive thinking and miraculous thinking. So disastrous thinking is when we continuously think of negative or disastrous outcomes, where we are in a negative atmosphere and where we don't believe in ourselves, or we believe that only negative outcomes can come out of anything that we do. So for example, when we are trying to learn a bike for the first time, or ride a car, drive a car, if we are continuously constantly worrying about what the outcomes are going to be, and convince ourselves that it's going to be a bad outcome, it's going to be a negative outcome where we're going to crash into a tree, or we're going to meet with an accident, so that's what's going to happen. He says our strong disastrous thoughts and thinking will lead to a disastrous outcome. Nothing good can come out of a disastrous thinking pattern. And the second type of thinking is a negative kind of thinking. Negative kind of thinking is when we are on the edge and we say, like, where there's a 50% chance of what's going to happen. We say, okay, I might win the race, I might not win the race, I don't know, let's see what happens. So we are taking 2 steps ahead and 3 steps back. So we're thinking twice that I can win this, and we're thinking thrice that I cannot win this. So the end results will always be negative, and that's going to manifest into our reality, and we are going to end up losing our match or losing our race. And the third type of thinking is positive thinking. It's when we are positive and we are sure that the outcome of our experiences, outcome of our work is going to be positive. It's when we believe that that only positive outcomes can come out of what we do. So before writing an exam, when we think to ourselves, when we tell ourselves and when we convince ourselves that I'm going to pass this exam, that's what's going to happen. Where there's a positive thought, there's going to be a positive reality. So if you convince yourself, if you think to yourself that you're going to pass the exam, that's what's going to happen. And Patriji says positive thinking is not enough. Though it is great and that is important, it's not enough for meditators, for masters to achieve what they want, to achieve miracles. So he says miraculous thinking is what we need. Miraculous thinking is when we have miraculous thoughts, and we have miraculous ideas, and we have miraculous beliefs. When Patriji gives the example of how he had a miraculous thought of teaching everyone meditation, the entire world meditation, and how he wanted everyone to be a vegetarian. He says that's miraculous thinking. Being a thought or a thinking pattern where positive outcomes come out of our experience and it affects a large scale number of people. Even if it's not a large scale, if we think to ourselves that I'm going to get 100% score in the next test that we're going to give, then we are having a miraculous thought. And our outcome will be miraculous. But it's also important to understand that having the thinking pattern is not enough to manifest our reality. We have to work towards it as well. We have to put in our effort. This is the first step though. If we don't even believe, if we don't even think that we can achieve something great, we're not even taking the first step towards achieving something great. So it's important to have a miraculous thinking pattern and work hard towards achieving our goals. And this might seem like a very spiritual topic, but actually there are many scientists and psychologists who have been researching on this topic, and they've come up with something similar that says it's what we believe, our expectations will influence our experience. So this effect is called the Pygmalion effect or the Rosenthal effect. So it's when our expectations of what others are going to do will lead to them achieving the great things. So for example, if a coach teaching a football team believes that one student can do great in the match, and he automatically trains the student who he believes will do great in a much positive way. Even if the student messes up, or like he doesn't perform very well, the outreach of the coach towards the student is very different. The coach will teach the student to become great rather than discourage him or scold him. So what his expectation on the student will dictate his behavior towards the student, which in turn makes the student believe that he can achieve great things. Looking at the positive and motivational speeches that the coach gives and the care that the coach gives the student thinks, okay, I can achieve this, I can do great, I can play great football, I can definitely win this match, I can definitely score the goal. And he actually ends up scoring the goal because he internalized in himself, the student internalized in himself that he can score the goal and he can achieve great things. So the teacher's expectation in turn led to the students' achievements. So let's take a opposite of this. So if in case the coach for some reason believes that his student cannot score well in the match, he will internalize it in himself. The coach will internalize it in himself that this person is not capable of scoring a goal. Then his teachings towards the students will be such that it's not he won't put his 100% effort into coaching the child. He will just tell him what to do and maybe just leave it at that. And when the child doesn't perform very well, the coach will end up thinking to himself, okay, I knew this was going to happen, thank God I didn't waste my time and effort on this child because he's not capable of it. So it will form a loop, and which will end up affecting the child and his confidence upon himself. The child will believe that he's not capable of scoring a goal in a match, so he will end up reducing his performance. So all these concepts basically have one thing in common, that says what you believe, what you think, what your intentions are that is what is going to be your reality. Your thinking becomes your reality, and it's a very beautiful concept. And there was an experiment done upon this by Rosenthal. He was a psychologist. He conducted an experiment on a few students. So he took a bunch of average students from a class and he divided them into two groups. And he said one group of students were very highly intelligent and they're capable of learning anything that the teacher has to offer. And he said the second group of students are not very intelligent, they're below average students, and it might take some time for students to understand the concepts that the teacher is teaching. And he took two teachers, one for each group, and he told the teachers which group they're going to get, when in reality that both groups of students were average. But the teacher believed that their student was either very intelligent or not very intelligent. So after 2 weeks of teaching, when they had a test, the group of students who were supposedly intelligent ended up doing much better on the test than those students who were supposedly not intelligent. So this in turn proves that what the teacher believes the students are capable of achieving will end up being the student's achievement. So as a child, some people might be thinking, how is this possible? How can a student not know what he's capable of? So in psychology, it has been proven that what we think of ourselves is actually a reflection of what we perceive others think of us. It's a little confusing. I'll break it up for you. So let's take my example. I believe that I am a good student. I can score well in a test. That's because I think my teacher knows that I can do well. So when I hear my teacher saying, Himasri, you can do well in this test, I will internalize it in myself and say, okay, Himasri is a good student. I am a good student. My teacher knows so. Because it's my teacher. She knows better than me. She's more experienced. She's more talented in this field. And she's an adult who's a mentor to me. So I will believe what she's thinking is true. And I will internalize it in myself about myself. So what her belief will dictate how I perform. So it's really important to understand this effect, and sometimes it's important to get out of this effect as well. So in case if the teacher believes that I'm not capable of achieving this, I should not internalize it in myself. It's only when I have the awareness that what is happening with me, what is happening with my self confidence, that I can come out of this. So this concept is extremely important for everyone, not just students. I just took the example of students because that's what I relate to the best. I am still a student studying. So it applies to everyone in any phase of their life. We should not let other people's intentions dictate our reality. We should make our thinking such miraculous so that our reality becomes miraculous. So that's what I wanted to share today. Thank you for listening. Let's meditate for a couple of minutes, for at least half an hour, and we can discuss how the meditation is and maybe some other concept after the meditation. Thank you. I'll play the music now. Please close your eyes, clasp your palms, cross your feet, and concentrate on your breathing. You can place your hands on your palm, on your legs. Concentrate on the inflow of breath and the outflow of breath. Don't try to control your breath. Keep it natural, keep it normal. It's okay to have thoughts, but remember to slowly come back to your breath. Slowly come back to your breath. Don't force yourself. relaxing. Feel all your muscles in your body relaxing and rejuvenating with energy. get distracted by the thoughts. Slowly and gradually bring your thoughts back to your breathing. Bring your attention back to your breathing. Feel the energy passing through your head down to your body. Each and every cell in your body get energized. Observe the happiness they are feeling. 5 minutes, masters. Let's be with our breath. Please do not open your eyes. Last 1 minute, masters. Please be with your breath. Thank you, masters. Please slowly release your palms and place them on your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please open your eyes. Thank you everyone for joining the session. Before we end the session, there are 2 questions in the chat. So we've discussed how there are 4 types of thinking pattern. disastrous thinking, negative thinking, positive thinking, and miraculous thinking. So the first question is how to shift from disastrous thinking ability. So the first step to changing your disastrous thinking is to know that you have a disastrous thinking pattern. And most of us don't even realize what we are thinking most of the time. And before meditation, that was me. I never realized what I was thinking and how that was affecting my life. So the best way to bring awareness about what we are thinking is to meditate. It's very important to meditate because that meditation gives us this sense of calm and sense of peace that helps us to be aware of our environment, be aware of ourselves. And the best thing to look at is to look at our emotions. Our thinking affects our emotions greatly. So if we are thinking very positively, we feel very happy, we feel very light-hearted, we feel very enthusiastic and motivated. And when we are in a negative thinking pattern or a disastrous thinking pattern, our emotion, you can see that thinking pattern being reflected in your emotions. So I suggest everyone to try keeping a emotional diary where you write down how you're feeling throughout the day. And by the end of the day, you can understand what your thinking pattern looks like. If you're feeling negative, you're feeling sad, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling depressed throughout the day, then it might be something to do with your thinking pattern. You can go back and check your thoughts. So as soon as you feel sad, you immediately think to yourself, why am I feeling sad? What am I thinking of? If what you're thinking of is not a miraculous thinking pattern, then you tell yourself immediately to change that. So for example, if I'm feeling sad thinking about my exams, I'll ask myself, why am I feeling sad? What is it that I'm worrying about? Then I'll realize that I'm thinking that I'm going to fail this exam. That's why I'm worried. I'm thinking that I cannot finish studying the entire syllabus before my exam. That's what's causing my worry. That's what is causing my sadness. So I know the thought behind my sadness. I know the thinking behind my sadness. So I immediately change my thinking. I tell myself, okay, Himasri, no, this is not how you are supposed to think. You have to think that you can finish it. That's the only way to finish it. That's the first step to finishing your syllabus. So I immediately go take the opposite of my thinking. Wherever I said no, I can't, I say yes, I can. And then you can easily change your thinking pattern. And the second question is, how can I control my thinking patterns? Again, know your emotions, know the thoughts behind your emotions, know the thinking behind your emotions, and be aware of what you're feeling throughout the day, and you can easily change your thinking patterns. It's a habit that we need to get used to. It takes some practice, but I'm sure it's not impossible to do. So I hope everyone does it. And for those who are thinking, okay, how can I do it? I'm just a normal student, a normal person, a normal human. But so for those who are feeling like that, let me tell you that we are all godly beings. We all have a godly consciousness inside us. We're all the same consciousness as that of a god. So please don't undersell yourself. Please don't doubt yourself. You are capable of achieving great things. And the first step towards achieving great things is to thinking that you can achieve great things. So I hope everyone liked this session. Thank you for listening. If you have any more questions, please put them in the chat. I'll wait for a few seconds. And to know more about these concepts, please visit the PSSM website. You can find all of Patri sir's concepts on that. And you can even read a book called Law of Attraction. It's a book on law of attraction. It's called The Secret. It also talks about how your thinking becomes your destiny, it becomes your reality. And there's one more question: how do I make meditation a habit? So I'll tell you how I made meditation a habit for myself, and hopefully that works for you as well. So every day before going to bed, I remember to meditate for at least 5 minutes. And slowly I increased that 5 minutes to a little longer, and I made it 30 minutes now. And it has helped me fall asleep much better and have a much better sleep. I'm not distracted. I don't have scary thoughts or scary dreams. I'm sleeping much better now, thanks to meditation. And I hope that helps you as well. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Jnana Vani Garu, for giving me this opportunity, and Jnana Mitra for giving me this opportunity. I am very happy to be here and share my experience. Thank you all.